Hello again. So this is going to be books that I'm reading in November, or like hopefully I can say that past tense as well. Like I read these in November. I have too much bronzer on my forehead. Anyway, the first book that I'm reading in November is The Queen's Counsel Rebel Rose, which is the basically it's the sequel to Beauty and the Beast. Um, so if you're not aware, Beauty and the Beast is actually set just before or during the French Revolution. So obviously, once the curse is broken and the Beast is no longer the Beast, they get married and they live happily ever after. But the revolution is about to happen, and they've been under a curse for 10 years, and basically the entire like France has forgotten about them and don't know that they're there until the curse is broken, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Where have you been?" So they just think that the beast has been a recluse, which in this book they call him Leo, which is they explain why, and I think it's also like this writer. I think it's Emma Theriault is the writer to this book. She explains that the reason why he looks like a lion is because his mother called him her little lion cub. So she always called him Leo, and the name stuck. So that's what Belle calls him in this book, and that's what everyone else calls him. But so we're following Belle, and basically when we start the book, they're on their honeymoon, they're on their tour of France, and they've just arrived in Paris, which is where the brunt of the revolution is happening, and they're not really aware that this is occurring. And they pretty much, just left Avon, which is where they live, and they get to Paris, and like everything seems fine. And then they're talking to Leo's cousin, which is who they're staying with, and he keeps mentioning like the peasants like in revolt and like all these different things. And so Belle's like, all right, well, fine, like I don't really want to go meet the king, and I don't have to because she didn't take the title princess, which I didn't know. Like I'm sure that's just for this book. um but as she's walking around, she starts to see like evidence that there's a revolution happening, and like that even the next day, like she goes out again to like kind of wander the city and visit some of her places that she went with her father when she was little, and she witnesses a riot, and she doesn't really know how to react. um so yeah, I'm about a little less than halfway through on that one, so I can't review it yet, but that's all I know thus far. um I do not trust the Duke. I'll get back to you on that in the next video, hopefully, but I don't trust the Duke. He's up to something. Yeah. So then the next book that I need to read is The Silent House, and I requested this from NetGalley, and or Silent Night, sorry, by Nell Pattison. Um, when I requested it, I was like, oh, what a fun Christmas book. But I was just rereading the description, and I'm like, not a fun Christmas book. It's a thriller. So basically, a deaf school takes an overnight trip into the woods in the winter. I don't know why. Like, it's snowy and it's cold. Why would you go? But whatever, you do you. Anyway, five teenagers go to sleep and only four wake up. So, um, and Leon is missing, and a teacher's body is found in the forest. So, um, it's up to this sign language interpreter who is brought in to help with the interrogations to find out who at the school has motive for murder, but they all have an alibi. Um, so this is far more interesting than I thought it was going to be when I thought it was just a cute little Christmas book. So I'm excited for that. The next book is next book is the next one is Last Call by Cathi Stoler, which this is also a murder mystery. So it's New Year's Day, and Jude is the owner of the Corner Lounge, and she's cleaning up after last night's celebration when she discovers the body of a man with a knife through his heart in the dumpster out back. Literally my worst fear. I told my husband the other day, I was like, I'm so afraid that I'm going to take the trash out at work and find a body. It's never a mannequin. Hashtag Crime Junkies. But that's my worst fear. So the fact that it starts out like that is really scary. So basically, she's devastated. She recognizes the victim as Michael Bevan's younger brother. He's apparently one of her regulars. She's devastated. She is more horrified when she learns that Michael is the latest victim of the New Year's Eve serial killer whose horrible crimes stretch back more than 20 years. Okay, so really, seriously, Crime Junkie vibes. I'll have to tag them in this video, because this sounds a lot like one of their podcasts. So yeah, that's gonna be next. Then, what's next? Not that one. I think it's this one. Yeah. So next is Death, Diamonds, and Deception. Can you send something to my November TBR? So this is set, it looks like turn of the century. It says Gilded Age. That's turn of the century, right? Of old New York. Apparently this is the 5th book. Have I read the other 4? No. Am I gonna read this anyway? Yeah, then I'm probably gonna have to buy the other 4. But basically, Miss Prudence Mackenzie and ex-Pinkerton Geoffrey Hunter dash down a twisted maze from 5th Avenue to 5 Points in pursuit of the stolen diamonds belonging to Marie Antoinette. Okay. So it is, oh yes, it's fall 1889, so turn of the century basically. This sounds exactly like what I want, which is why I picked it a couple months ago, but now it's finally time to read it. But yeah, I love turn of the century murder mysteries. I think that is the last one for November. Yeah, that's the last one for November. At least for my ebooks that are coming out this month. So hopefully I'll be able to review those. Hopefully I'll also be able to review A Deadly Education. And I also need to read the other books that my best friend has loaned me, which are Gone with the Wind, The Princess Bride, and Pride and Prejudice. I need to read those as well. And if I get to all of that, I also need to read Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman, which came out last month in October. I didn't get to it. So yeah, a long TBR, but it should be a good one. And am I gonna sleep in November? No, because that's a lot of murder mysteries. And they all sound like actually scary ones instead of the cozy ones that I usually like to read. So we'll see. But that's all. So see you later.